So this video is called Every High School Stereotype Explained in 3 minutes. And the channel that this is by is Helpful Professor.
The jock, the popular athlete who is often associated with physical prowess and a lack of academic interest. The nerd, the intelligent and socially awkward student who excels academically but struggles with social interactions. The popular girl, the trendy and attractive female student who is adored by many and sets the social standards. The class clown, the student who constantly tries to make others laugh, often disrupting the class in the process. The goth, the student who embraces a dark and alternative style, often associated with a melancholic or brooding demeanor. The rebel, the nonconformist who challenges authority and societal norms, often seen as a troublemaker. The teacher's pet, the student who consistently tries to impress teachers and follows all rules meticulously. The artsy kid, the creative and expressive student who excels in artistic pursuits, such as music, painting, or theater. The cheerleader, the energetic and spirited member of the school's cheerleading squad, often seen as popular and outgoing. The geek, the socially awkward and technologically savvy student who is passionate about niche interests like gaming or science fiction. The loner, the introverted and socially isolated student who prefers solitude and has difficulty making friends. The rich kid, the student from an affluent family who often flaunts their wealth and possessions. The band geek, the student who is deeply involved in the school's marching band or music program, often seen as quirky or eccentric. The overachiever, the student who is constantly striving for perfection and excels in multiple areas, often seen as overly competitive or high-strung. The mean girl, the popular and often cruel female student who enforces social hierarchies and doesn't take others' feelings into consideration. The slacker, the student who puts minimal effort into their studies and is often seen as lazy or unmotivated. The drama kid, the student who is heavily involved in the school's theater productions and is often seen as melodramatic or attention-seeking. The athlete, the student who excels in one or more sports and is often admired for their physical abilities. The outsider, the student who does not fit into any particular social group and is often seen as the outcast or misfit. The hipster, the student who embraces alternative and counterculture trends, often seen as pretentious or condescending. The overachiever's best friend, the student who is often overshadowed by their overachieving friend but provides support and balance. The class activist, the student who is passionate about social or political causes and advocates for change within the school community. The party animal, the student who is known for their love of socializing, partying, and living an active social life. Which one are you? Tell me in the comments.
I appreciate your helpful professor. So that actually brings up a question for you guys. So, what stereotypic group do you believe in your way you would kind of land on? Like, did you see yourself as an athletic kid? Maybe you was a male cheerleader, or a drama queen or drama king. What do you guys think?
I land in the nerd category,
Oh, Jesus.
but not like a tech nerd, which I wish I had landed in that, but like, more like just into pop culture and stuff like that. What would the other word be called? A geek. Yeah, there you go. That's what I would do.
Okay.
All right, geek. Thanks, man.
Dang.
No, but that was like your interests, rather, right? Like
Yeah.
to go further beyond studies.
Yeah.
I feel like you would just.
That was
were
on
just
his side
doing
time.
whatever you wanted to do.
What was
you
in
know
his
what I mean?
main time?
He was the only male cheerleader. Didn't you hear him earlier?
I was not a male cheerleader.
The 4 groups that I kind of identify as.
Damn, 4?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah, he do. Tell on yourself.
The 2 biggest ones would have been the rebel, the loner, but I also had a little bit of the outsider and also the party animal. Not in school, at least, not with the people in school, but I have my own group of friends outside of high school that.
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 4 that I would identify. Rebel, because I was always just pushing everybody's button, especially authority. I was very anti-authority. That's why I got in trouble, suspended in school, detention, and suspended, and all that good stuff.
That was a conspiracy.
It was conspiracy, goddammit. And then the outsider, just because I never felt like I belonged to a lot of like the groups that I would see or anything like that. the closest would have been the group of the disabled students that me and Ian and to a certain degree Jesus was part of. I was never part of the cheerleader squad because Jesus never let me be part of that. You know, the loner just because I was always doing my own thing, doing my own thing, and just setting examples of positivity for all the other students.
The lonely loner seems to free his mind at night.
Hey, I have to sell my products, goddammit. But
Can't sing that.
yeah, that's what I would fell under.
I also would be those four that you mentioned.
You were a rebel?
In the beginning,
Oh.
like sophomore year,
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty much a rebel. I was trying to more or less like fit in with the cool kids, you would say. Um, and so once we started like learning about like how to ditch, that one friend taught the other friend, and so forth, so on. Then we would like plan like every weekend. I mean, every Friday, before the weekend that we're gonna ditch or do party things like trying new stuff, drugs. Can I say that word?
Tease.
Just basically trying to fit in
No.
to see what the other cliques were doing or the cool clique was doing. And then junior year, you would say, junior year and senior year, I was like falling more into like a loner type of clique, because oddly enough, all my friends like literally started dropping off one by one. So I ended up graduating by myself.
They
and I
dropped
was
out?
Yeah, they would drop out one by one. So like one of my friends dropped out um sophomore year, then my other two friends dropped out in junior year, and so forth and so on. And that one friend that I was with trying to push forward, because thankfully I almost didn't graduate, but my mom, like, she pushed me, and thanks to her I was able to. She put me in night school. She was like, "Oh hell no, you're graduating because you're graduating."
Oh, yes.
So she put me in night school classes, and the funny thing is, it was just for art and gym.
Oh.
I had to do, because those are I would ditch the easy classes.
The electives.
Yeah, there you go. The electives, because that's what everybody was doing, of course. And I felt like, oh, I can make it up, if I come the last 2 weeks or the last 3 weeks straight. But then once I started like not going one day, I didn't want to go the next day, and then it just kept going worse and worse, and I just didn't want to go back. Um, but yeah, my mom put me in night school. So after that high school, I would go to another high school in the town next door, you would say. Um, that also is the same high school, but it's just a different direction. It has a different name in there. But yeah, so since I was the only one left, trying to graduate and everything, that one friend that I was going to night school with, and we would sometimes even ditch night school together.
Ditch during the day. While I stay from the night.
We can make it up for
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks of nights.
She ended up not graduating also because
Ooh.
she missed, her gym teacher didn't let her go on stage or something like that, so she just got mad and she just dropped out. And so I ended up graduating by myself, like with none of my closest friends.
Oh.
So yeah, those last 2 years were just like, I would say, loner years for me.
See,
I was just trying to make it and not talk to nobody.
Real quick, I kind of fell in something similar like that. I don't know if it runs in our family, where because I used to ditch every class. Not
yeah,
forget
you
just
sure did.
forget just the electives. I skipped any class that I could.
You skipped lunch.
And
Me
yes,
too.
I did. Actually, I did. But it wasn't until senior year, same thing. Like they told me you're not gonna graduate if you don't have all these hours and you don't get your shit together. And I busted my ass off. I even argue with the damn what was she? The lady in charge of the service hours.
Yes.
Yeah, that lady.
Mhm.
I argued with her because she mistakenly took out some of my hours. I was like, oh hell no, I busted my ass off. So I completely understand how it feels like, kind of pushing yourself last minute, especially when, because I feel especially when you start high school, you don't take things serious.
Yeah.
And it's not until you get to that point where you unfortunately have to hear those words that's kind of a wake up call. Like, you're not going to graduate, you're not going to cross that stage with your
Mhm.
friends if you have any, or at least with the people your age. And that is kind of just like a wake up call. And I think it's also because you are a little bit older at that point than what you were when you first started high school.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Also, real fast, we can't play the song, but any for our listeners, if you know the song, just think of the cool kids and play that in your head as
Echo
we go along.
Friend.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Nah, everybody else.
No, see, I like that you broke down how you kind of would have been identified, like stereotypic wise, year to year, because I kind of handle mine a little similar. Like for me, like freshman and sophomore year, my identity got honestly consumed by a friend of mine. Like I was, kind of attached to him at the hip, and so his identity was here, and then I just kind of got labeled as just he's the sidekick. That's actual quote. So
No, it was not me.
no, it
I
wasn't.
was gonna ask.
No.
Thank you, Rich, for clarifying.
No, it was. No, we weren't that close yet.
No.
No.
So
Yet.
yeah, so like my identity just individually kind of just got consumed by someone else's. So I think freshman and sophomore year it would have been kind of like that the overachiever's friend and just kind of there when things would go south. But funny enough, definitely junior year. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was scared because junior year, the whole dreaded ACT test, and like they're like, if you don't do good on this, then your future's screwed. So I started, just I don't know. It was the weirdest year of my life. I was like an overachiever, where I was doing homework, but I wasn't just doing like this week's or next week's, or even if, like I was literally ahead of that class at least by 4 or 5 weeks, solely because I didn't want to deal with them saying either I was missing something or I just literally did it. That was the most active I've ever been. I've never been that ever again. But then definitely senior year, then I'll admit that is when I did become the artsy kid. It kind of segued at the end of my junior year because when the school finds out that you have a talent or something, they're quick to kind of pounce in on it to make you join something. So that kind of happened. And then literally senior year, I was in like a music group, two of them. Actually, no, I was like in three of them. And
Are
then,
they on YouTube to go check them out, Ian?
yes.
Go check them out. Musicality, Ian. Woo!
They're on YouTube if you want to go check out Musicality. They're a music group of their own. Anyway,
Wait, you played instruments, or you play instruments?
His throat was his instrument.
you cannot say that like
What do
that.
you mean? You played your throat? Oh, I hear now.
You're
I
a singer?
yes.
Woo!
Nice.
Mm-hmm. They when they got word of that, then I was like in that group. I was in gospel choir. I was also in advanced mixed chorus. I had to do like a song competition. It was crazy senior year, and my mom couldn't stand it because she was like, "You don't know how to drive yourself anywhere because you can't drive." And so she was like my chauffeur, and she got pissed off. She was so pissed to the point that literally at graduation, she was like, "It's over. You can't do anything with them anymore. You're done." And I'm like, fine, I guess. But yeah, senior year was when I became really that artsy kid. And funny enough, my academics kind of took a backseat. The grades, it didn't slip too far because I just wouldn't allow that, but they did dip a bit to the point where the teachers was like, you need to get your priorities checked and all of that nonsense. But that was me. Like I had to go through that transition because by the time I was a senior, I did have my own identity. Like I wasn't attached to the person that I was with for the first 2 years. I started stepping on my own too, and then I did start talking to people, and then all of that, and just kind of moving around socially. And so I think that did help when I kind of just put the talent out there, and then started interacting a little bit through that. And then I then other stuff about me started coming out after that naturally.
Mhm.
Jesus.
You know, I didn't really like join anything until like senior year, where they finally opened up like a video game club
Mm.
and like a media club. So it was just that, like, it was just, I just indulged in my interests, and they just happened to be like nerdy things, and so that's why I say that, like, oh, I identify as a nerd or a geek, you know. And so yeah, that's my answer.
I have a question. This goes for everybody.
What's up?
Um, if you could repeat your high school years, you know, starting with freshman, and if you had that opportunity,
Yes.
would you? And
Yes.
why?
You go first, Missy.
Uh,
Yes.
I feel if I had the mindset that I do now, just because I didn't take school serious. Thank you.
Mhm. No, I
Yeah,
agree.
take
I
school
agree.
seriously.
No, I plugged before that.
But because I didn't take school serious and a lot of the stuff that I needed to know, not the dumb bullshit that they try to teach you, you know, how to measure the edge of a table or some shit like that you're never going to need. But very important things that I wish I would have had paid attention to, especially within things that when they were teaching us about how to our disability, basically, like how to manage our disability. Because when I hit my 20s, I'm in my 30s now. When I hit my 20s, I felt it. You know, I was uh, in the real world, and a lot of the stuff that I should have been paying attention to in high school, I needed it in my 20s, and I didn't have it then. So I had to like basically catch up and learn everything that I had to learn in my 20s because, like I said, you know, I was joking around a little bit earlier, but I was hanging around the wrong people, and I was doing some stuff that I wasn't supposed to, and you know, I wasted a lot of time. So if I could have that chance again, if I could say it to the past me or anybody out there that, you know, is listening, any high schoolers, just take your high school serious, even if it's a drag. It's never gonna be fun
It's
because
4 years.
it is gonna be important in as you kind of go along. Again, not every little small stupid little shit that every teacher
No.
tries to teach you, but there are certain social things that you are gonna need. There are certain academic things that you are going to need when you're trying to get more better opportunities to better schools. You sure as hell are going to need that. So yeah, just, you know, put more effort, pay attention, go to school, stay off the streets and off a stripper pole and off drugs, and you'll be fine.
I agree with him. I think I would do high school over again, but from my angle, I just wish I developed my self confidence more. Because, like I literally just said, my first 2 years, my image was consumed around somebody else's to where, you know, it's borderline I didn't exist, when in truth, I did exist the entire time.
Mhm.
And while I can be upset where, you know, like, how come they don't see me, this, and that,
Mhm.
I need to go into me and just like, why didn't you put yourself out there
Mhm.
more? And a lot of that was because I had a bad experience before where I put myself out there and then other people felt, you know, they were like, you know, you shouldn't have done that, this, and that. And I took that as an attack, like, oh shoot, like I did something wrong. When the truth is like, if that's if that was an insecurity for them, let them deal with it. But I can't diminish my light solely because they have an issue with it.
Yeah.
If I realize that then now, like I wouldn't be, to be honest, kind of struggling with the concept of self-confidence as I do. I've gotten way better at it
Yeah.
now than back then, but I have literally had it back then because I had people around me that would say the same thing that some of them do now, where it's just like, you have it, and this, and that. It's just you need to see it for yourself.
Mhm.
If I honestly like honed in on that back then,
Mhm.
then I don't know. Like I think I'll be a little bit more into who I am and being okay with it versus kind of trying to build that now, because it's always going to be a struggle, but it's a little bit more now because I'm an adult.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I would like to go back. It would be pretty cool to experience the the clubs that I just didn't really see myself going for, and trying to do those. and just to see how different things would have been back then. So that's pretty much my take on it.
Nice. So I'm applauding to every single one of you because I feel the same way. Like what Jesus said. I would want to go back. And I was thinking about this a lot previously, and now not so much because of what we went through, or me, I should speak for myself. I feel like that's who we are right now. And who knows how it would have been, right? But it would have been nice to kind of experience all the other groups that were available to me, but because of my lack of confidence, like Ian, um, I did not do it. I didn't have my voice. I was scared. Um, but it would have been nice to be in the band clique.
Mm.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, before I always actually thought, because I like singing. I like, writing poetry, writing songs, writing my feelings. So it's like I wish I had that confidence that I have now back then, you know. Um, and like Richie said, I wish that I took all my classes serious, what everybody said, and just took in it more serious than how I did. Um, Kept my math notes, paid attention in math because I feel like math is what I'm struggling now, and working on it to go back to college.
Nice.
So to all the high schoolers out there, just know that you're not alone. If you can, use and take advantage of the help that you get, the resources at the high school, the counselors. And that's another thing. I really like wish that they would provide more counselors, more therapists, more psychiatrists, or even psychiatrists at high schools, elementaries, because that would help a lot of students, to kind of find their voice, to kind of know what they're dealing with, and that they're not alone, and that just have that support that they don't have maybe at home or anywhere else, for it to be there at the school that we're at 8 hours a day. Is it 8 hours?
I,
Like work?
It is.
I think so.
These days,
Yes,
probably.
It felt like it.
It is 8 hours.
Shoot, Monday through Friday. Like we need that as well, So that's what this world needs more of.
Before we wrap up, just any high schoolers out there that might come across this video, learn the balance, just having fun, spending time with friends, partying, all that. Because you do also need that. You need a social life, but balance it out with actually being serious and taking serious your academic life in high school. And also college if you do eventually go to that. But yeah, that's it.
And know that you're not alone, and reach out if you need help. We're always here for you.
Thanks, you guys. All right, people. Well, that is going to conclude this amazing episode of See It Through My Eyes, guys. I appreciate everybody coming out here. And once again, if you did like this episode, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We really would appreciate that. My name is
Hit
Ian.
the bell.
Thumbs up,
I
people.
knew I was forgetting something.
Thank you so much for tuning into an episode to See It Through My Eyes. I'm Ian. This is Richie. This is Kika. This is Stan.
The man.
The man.
The geek.
We'll check you guys out next time, all right?
We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.